Second segment of the show for today. We're talking to Mr. Lonnie Graves, Sr., and he's talking about his life experiences growing up in a Texas town. And of course, Mr. Graves, let's have you to continue that intriguing information that you're giving us relative to just your upbringing and your upgrowing in Texas at that particular time.
Well, thank you. As I said, I studied hard. I went to Prairie View, not to school, but I won first place in the district and the county league and declaiming, and I didn't win first place there, but I was very well, did very well. So anyway, when I had to quit school, I took books home with me. I wrote short stories and all of this thing. I was a dreamer, and I wrote a story. But anyway, let me go on from there. I went to during the Depression in 1929 and whatever. My father's brother passed away, and to my surprise, because my father did not have interest. I mean, there was no papers on. It was in his brother's name, and so we had no part in the farm. His share, my father's share, had part. And during the Depression, they sold the farm, and we had to move. And so we moved to a farm where a white man had some 2,000 acres of land he was farming. And I worked for that, started working for that man when I was about 18 years old, and worked for him for 34 years. And during that 34 years, while I was faithful and so forth, I was made finally a foreman of that farm.
That was 34 years.
After all those years, a little more than 34 years. I mean, when I was, I was a grown man with a family, and he was. I was so faithful and studied so hard, and I knew something about chemistry and all that kind of business and poison kind of this kind of thing, and finally he moved me to the best farmhouse on the place, nice bungalow house, painted white. I had running water. I had telephone, and I had some just. And people say, and a brand new car Ford, a truck to go over to see the farm with, and all that kind of stuff, and furnish me gas and oil and all that kind of stuff. And people said, they said, oh, that boy got a white man's job.
Oh, ain't that something?
But this
it was. It really was.
But the Lord blessed me to do this. And I had a family, started my family, and my father had passed away. And I had to be responsible for burying him. In 1940, it was just things were hard, but Lord blessed me to weather that thing. I went through a lot, but I stayed with what I was doing, and because of that, my daughter, I had three boys and a girl, and when my girl got old enough, I took her to Waco every Saturday to give her piano lessons. And because I'd sit there and watch, I learned a lot about playing music by taking lessons from the lady. And so I bought her a piano. And so I went to playing too. I took advantage of what I learned by the teachers teaching my daughter, and I'm at home showing her, and I learned how to teach her. So the church asked me to play for them, and I did that, and I was active, and later on, when I was about 30 years old, I was elected to an organization of 40 churches, and I was elected the men's president of 40 churches. And because of that, I was able to go to all over the state of Texas at annual meetings. And then I was elected because of my skills in writing and everything. I was elected in Galveston, Texas, secretary of the State Brotherhood. And because of that, then I was able to go
all over the nation.
All over the nation.
World, like in a real sense.
I was able, 30 some odd states. This was a blessing to my part. And I thank the Lord for it. And so meeting people that professional people who had respect for me and for my perseverance and all that kind of thing. And there were a couple of doctors that just almost adopted me. Wherever they went, they would share with me. I said, man, I want to be with my folks. He said, boy, come on here. My people are your people. And they would. This is my friend, Mr. Graves. They would, and where did you go to school and all this kind of stuff. But I dedicated myself to studying. I took a Spanish book home with me. I took an English book home because the 7th grade English had so much in it. I studied that book. I studied Spanish, and I even studied. I got an old typewriter, and I started trying to learn how to type, and all of that kind of business. And years later, when I contacted glaucoma, I went to Austin, Texas, to take a course down there, and at that institute for people who had handicap, exactly. And because of that, and when I had been working, I had left the farm, and I worked at a prefab place, and I did real well there. And then when I retired from that retail place, then I went to work at a lighthouse for the blind in Waco for 10 years, and they made me they had 3 departments, and to my surprise, they made me director of all three of the departments. And
of course, Mr. Graves, let's stop now for our second commercial break, after which we'll come back and we'll give you an opportunity to talk about all of the tremendous things that you've been able to do. And even now, you're only at, 40 years old, 40, 45 years old, and you've still got books to write and all of that. And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.